welcome back to Cottoverdi. My name's Annette and today it is Dahlia digging day. I can't believe how late in the season it is. The weather has been so mild and so warm and we still haven't had a hard frost, but it's practically the end of November and we just have to get the dahlias out of the ground before they get so wet from all the rain. So we are digging the dahlias today. The reason that I lift my dahlias is because we have seriously heavy clay soil here. So it's not so much the cold, because we don't normally get that cold. I don't want to speak too soon, but it's not normally that cold. I think -5 is probably really cold for us. I'm talking in centigrade, not Fahrenheit. So it doesn't ever get that cold, but our soil, because it's such heavy clay, can get really claggy and waterlogged, and that above all else is going to rot the dahlias. So I lift my dahlias and we put them into storage. Once we've lifted our dahlias, we leave them to dry for a few days, and I'm going to leave them in the shed this year. We've got some racks, wooden racks in the shed, and I'm just going to leave them in there, and then once they're dry we're going to pack them away in sawdust, which is, you know, really fairly cheaply available, like horse bedding and stuff like that. So we'll pack them away in sawdust into plastic crates and store them in our garage, which stays at a fairly consistent temperature, but because it's sheltered it's above freezing, and then I'll check on them regularly through the winter. But that's how we store our dahlias, and this has worked really well for me in the past. The other thing that I do is that before I put the dahlias into the sawdust, first of all I check that they aren't rotten and there aren't any bits that I don't want on them, so we'll give them a light rinsing off. But I will also, what I've found is that we lose the tags, and so in the past I've lost the tags for the dahlias and I don't know which ones each tuber is until it grows, which I find slightly inconvenient. So what I've started doing is I store the dahlias in net bags and then put them in the sawdust, because that keeps the tag with the tuber. So if you see me putting them into bags, that's why. It's literally just so I can make sure the tags stay with the tubers. It's nothing else. If you're interested in where I get the tags from, or the bags, or the sawdust, or anything like that, I'll list useful things in the description in the video below. When we're digging the dahlias, what we'll do first is we will we'll cut them all down and we compost all of that top material, and we leave a few inches so that we can keep the tags with the dahlias, and then we tip the dahlias upside down to dry them. So we'll just go along the whole bed first, cutting them down and then taking all the string support off and taking all the sticks out, and then we will dig the dahlias one by one. Now we've chopped them all down, I'm just going to go around and take off all the cane toppers so that we save them for next year. Take the canes out and obviously the twine that we use to support them, and then we're going to dig them up. So the bed's cleared. Now we just need to dig the dahlias, and I'm going to show you how we do that. And I would advise always using a fork, because a fork is less likely to pierce a tuber, and the more you pierce your tubers the more prone they are to rot when they're in storage. So that's why we use a fork, and you want to dig away from where you think the tuber is going to be. And if you haven't divided your tubers for years, they're going to be quite large, so bear that in mind. So I label my dahlias in two places. I label it with a stick, but I also have this tag So with these tags, I wind it all the way around the stem, and then that way you can be sure that it's not going to come off and you're not going to lose the name of the dahlia. So you just put it through the hole in the tag and then tighten it up, and then that's much more secure and I'm less likely to lose the name. But that's it for today. We have dug all the dahlias and they're now all in storage in the shed behind, and you can see the crates behind me here, and in a few days time when they've dried out, probably next weekend in all honesty, we will then just pack them away and put them in the garage to sit the winter out. So I don't divide my dahlias now. I prefer to divide them in the spring. I may one day decide to divide them in the autumn if I end up with such a huge collection that they fill too many crates. It's just easier to store them if you've divided them, then you know they take up less room. So I may end up dividing them in the autumn, but normally it's just too damp and cold to be dividing dahlias in this weather, so I tend to divide them if I want to, and if they need it I'll divide them in the spring. So I'll definitely post a video when I'm doing that to show you how I do it. I did post a video last year if you want to take a look at that. I show you how to identify the eyes and you know where I choose to cut the dahlias, so that's on my channel if you want to take a look. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see more videos from me, then do subscribe by hitting the subscribe button below, and if you've enjoyed the video then give me a thumbs up because it really helps tell YouTube that this is a fun video to watch if you enjoyed it. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you all next time.